Once upon a time, there was a beautiful woman named Sarah. She was happily married to her husband, David, and they had a beautiful daughter, Emily. Sarah had a successful career as a marketing executive at a top-notch company, and her boss, James, was impressed with her hard work and dedication. As Sarah started working more closely with James, she found herself increasingly attracted to him. She tried to push these feelings aside, but she couldn't deny the intense chemistry between them. James was charming, intelligent, and successful, and Sarah found herself thinking about him more and more. Despite her growing feelings for James, Sarah loved her husband and daughter deeply. She knew that leaving them would break their hearts, and she didn't want to hurt them. But the more time she spent with James, the more she realized how unhappy she was in her marriage. David had become distant and neglectful, and Sarah felt like she was stuck in a loveless relationship. Sarah couldn't decide what to do. On one hand, she didn't want to hurt her family by leaving them for James. On the other hand, she couldn't ignore the deep connection she felt with him. She spent countless sleepless nights agonizing over her decision, torn between her love for her family and her desire for James. Finally, Sarah made her decision. She knew that she couldn't continue living in an unhappy marriage, and she realized that her feelings for James were too strong to ignore. She sat down with David and told him everything, and while he was heartbroken, he ultimately understood and respected her decision. They agreed to co-parent Emily and remain friends. Sarah took a chance on love and pursued a relationship with James. She was happy initially, but what she didn't realize was the difference between being in love and being married to someone. Sarah was more miserable than before. Her relationship with her boss James had ended and she was living in a rented apartment. She put up a brave face of an independent woman, but in reality she masked her true emotions and pain of being lonely. Sarah wanted to get back to her old married life, but how could she expect David to accept her with open arms? Even though she met David with the excuse of picking up little Emily, but she never spoke what she wanted to say. That is until one day David asked her, "Are you happy?" Emily said nothing, and that is all what David needed to know. Like a dominating husband, she said, "You are coming and living with us." Sarah did not say, "No."